episode 422. Thank you all for listening to episode 421, 2000s, a decade of trivia. I am Gray Lamarck, here with my co-host.
The embarrassing trivia at Bear. You would think in 2000s trivia I would have done better than I did, but spoiler alert, I didn't.
Well, Grandpa has people that he works with that are of the younger generation, so he hears all this shit.
Yeah.
So, it's just wild. But it's just us tonight, so it should go quick. I forgot. We're watching AEW. Soraya Page.
Oh yeah, Paige.
Is on AEW.
She showed up last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's on there now. She actually looks good.
I thought that too. I thought she looked good. I didn't see. I saw the video clip of her showing up there in Flushing or wherever they were last week in New York.
Yeah, she had her tongue out. It looks like Xavier left his mark. Just saying.
I thought she had neck issue or whatever.
She did.
Wrestle.
Yeah, and I don't think WWE. Well, you know how WWE doctors are. They're actually really good, and when they tell you that, so don't be surprised if something happens to her. I mean, look at Edge. Edge was fine, and then sat out for years. They finally cleared him, and he's good. But that's always what I worry about Bryan Danielson. I'm like, this dude, if he keeps going what he's doing, it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm. Be sitting in a wheelchair the rest of his life.
Let's hope not. So thanks to people real quick. Thanks to Wes Anderson for Moments of Time. Check him out on Facebook, Wes Anderson Music. Give him a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Songs by Wes. Thank you to All Wear Clothing. Visit allwearclothing.com. Mention Overline Podcast. Brandon's going to hook you up with that deal. Thank you to Crandall's Quality Landscaping. Give Sean a call, 419-704-5471. Serves the Toledo and surrounding area and not.
Talladega.
Love it. Should be a fun one this week. We'll get into that here shortly. Thank you, Sean. Thank you to Sparty Steve. I'm going to see him here next weekend. And last but not least, Connell Barrett, datingtransformation.com.
Yeah, make sure you get yourself to datingtransformation.com and get that free consultation from Connell when you mention Over the Line Podcast. And in the meantime, get to Amazon.com and buy Connell's book, Dating Sucks, But You Don't, the only 5-star dating book on Amazon.
I can't, now that I'm watching AEW, she does look a little different. Kind of looks the same somewhat. Looks good, but she's got to stop licking her lips. It's driving me insane. I'm like, are you the Joker? Are you Heath Ledger? Like, I don't understand. Somebody's got a sign that says Khan is greater than Triple H.
Boy.
That's a false statement. Sorry, kid.
Now, you marks.
Yeah, dude. I tell you what, though. We'll save wrestling. I got to write that down. We'll get into some wrestling here in a bit. Let's get into NASCAR. We have a new leader on the podcast.
That's me, baby.
What happened at the race?
Well, pretty much everybody blew a tire. That's what happened in Texas. Honestly, probably one of the worst races of the year because of that. This car and tire combo did just god awful. A little bit because Texas is a little more of a rougher speedway. It's older, but yeah, Goodyear did not do itself a solid with NASCAR in this race. I think at one point, 3 leaders in a row blew a tire and wrecked.
I got to get on ESPN. Judge hit 61.
Just hit it?
Yep. Got to get on the Twitter. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I mean, that's
history.
That's history right there. Live on this podcast.
Judge hit a homer.
And it is ESPN super slow. Like normal?
Yeah, I'm watching the Gamecast. And my dad just texted me. Judge, he said, yes, Judge hit 61. So that'll be updated here shortly. They're going to put it in there that he hit 61. Stephen A. called out the Blue Jays pitchers for walking Aaron Judge. I mean, it's a smart thing to do. Honestly. Right. Aaron Judge. See if I can find it on the old Twitter.
Really? How's there no video? Everyone just tweeting about it, but no one has video of it.
Yeah, I see 61.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
I just want to see the fans trying to catch it. That's all I care about.
It didn't get up there.
Let's see.
There you go.
Oh, into the bullpen. Oh, lucky him. They just saved a bunch of. Yeah, I just saw it. I just got it. Into the bullpen.
They'll give it to him.
Well,
Right.
man, that's
the best thing that could have happened.
The Yankees just got out of that cheap.
Yeah, no shit.
Wow. Yeah. Well, baseball did actually. Yep. Actually, if I was one of the Blue Jays, if I was one of those Blue Jays pitchers, I'd take that bitch.
Try to give it to swap it out. They'll
I would
probably be
say.
off. Well, they got to have all those balls marked, right?
Oh
For
yeah.
shit like this.
Yeah, they mark them. Yeah, Ravel. No one catches 61. Yep.
Yeah, so no one catches 61. 62 is going to be the one to catch, though. Because, when people look at it, to a lot of people, 62 is the record. Like, it really is to a lot of people because of all the ones past that are steroid era.
Well, technically he's tied, right? He didn't break it. He's tied with Maris.
He's tied with Maris now, but I'm saying
62 breaks. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. 62 is going to be the number for a lot of people because the steroid era. A lot of people put an asterisk by that. So now we're on this. We'll get to NASCAR, back to NASCAR in a minute. What do you say? What say you? Do you say that 62 to you is the record? Asterisks, all that. What do you think?
To me, I don't give a shit because it's baseball. They need steroids to make it exciting. So I think Aaron Judge should do steroids. He could hit 100. No, 70 is the record.
73.
Sorry, 73. Yeah, sorry, 73. Yeah, 73 is the record. Yeah, anyone can say that, and the steroid era, all of that. But you know what? Baseball didn't do anything to those guys like they do now. When they see them, they had the chance and they didn't. And I guarantee they would not have done it because that was the most exciting was 98 when McGuire and Swiss were going at it. And then again, what was it? 04 when Bonds broke it, I think.
Yep.
So that was the only time baseball gets eyes, just like right now, right? Judge going for this. They cut it in over college, not over, but next to college football on Saturday when it was on each time he came up to the plate.
Because it's a big deal.
Yeah, because it's the only time that there's going to be eyes on baseball. Other than that, no one gives a shit. So.
Yeah, because if you look at that, what does the next guy have? 30-some? It's not 42.
Oh, no. Schwarber has 42.
Yeah, he has 42. Alonso has 40. But still, that just tells you
40.
It's hard to get there.
Yeah, it's super impressive. And I like what the Yankees did, starting to bat him first to get him more at bats. I don't know.
He's a good leadoff hitter because his on base is insane. Like his on base is almost 500. So, and when you got guys like that, you got Stanton, you got Rizzo, you got those guys coming behind him. Why wouldn't you bat Judge first? It's just wild.
I'm just happy he finally hit 61 so we can, I'll be ready for 62 so we can get past this dumb shit. Mm-hmm. The Guardians can beat the Mariners and then Judge can go 0 for 17 in the Guardians-Yankees series and strike out 5 times. Perfect. Just exactly what I want.
Unfortunately, you're right.
That's what happened. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they played?
He's going to go 0 for 7, 5 Ks, and 14 walks. That's what's going to happen.
It's fine with me. He ain't stealing any bases. He'll walk his ass every day.
Yeah,
but
no shit.
It's good. It's good for Judge. I like Aaron Judge. I can root for him, even though he is in the dirty pinstripes.
Hey, came through the system though.
I still am I am a 100% Yankee hater, but I do like Aaron Judge. I think he's easy to root for. He, he's not like a prick and any of that. He's a good dude, especially after the dude that gave him 60 and he met him and all that good stuff. I don't know if that obviously with all this came back up when McGuire, when the dude caught McGuire 70th and he said, the Cardinals are like, we'll give you a signed bat, signed jersey, another signed ball or whatever. And that's it. And the guy goes, okay, I'll take all that. And I just want to meet McGuire and hand him the ball. And McGuire said, nope, denied it. So the guy said, screw it. You don't get your ball, sold it for $3 million.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. And then donated half the money to charities and stuff. just an average working dude, kept working. Said he made like, I think at the time he was making like, back then 30 grand a year, which is good in 98. But I think he just had a normal job. He was a normal dude, sold the ball for $3 million, donated to a whole bunch of charities, kept some money for his own retirement, kept working. Never heard from the guy again. And all because McGuire just didn't want to see him. Like, could you imagine that? I mean, how big of an asshole do you have to be to do that?
Well, look what Judge did. I mean, you remember that? What was it?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the guy said,
not even just that,
he
just
came in and all that.
like what Judge did too, like a month ago. I think it was a month ago when that guy for Toronto caught the baseball and like they were up there. It was an Aaron Judge home run. He was a Toronto fan. I don't know if you ever saw that. And he kept telling the kid, "You're going to get a ball, but if it's a home run ball, I'm keeping it, because that's the ball." And this kid's a big Aaron Judge fan, has a Judge jersey on. The guy gets the ball, throws his hands up, puts them right back down, and turns and hands the Yankees fan the ball. Like gives this kid the ball. And the kid hugs him crying. Well,
yeah,
Judge,
that was like in May or June,
wasn't it? It was a couple months ago, but Judge met both like that guy and the family.
In the dugout. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Because they came and were able to watch batting practice, and Judge came and sat and talked to him and took pictures with him. And that kid's like, that's that. Like he saw him go out to bat, and Aaron Judge came over and he freaked out. And I'm like, it's awesome. This dude's the best.
That's why, like I said, that's why I can root for him. I can root for a guy who, can interact with the fans and, he's not just playing for the evil empire. And I love too, now that he's got to get just fucking fat money from the Yankees, which is always my favorite for them to overspend. So
dude,
so makes it even better.
They're going to have to pay him $50 million a year. He's making $10 million a year right now.
Well,
they're going to,
if they don't, he's going to go to the Dodgers. So,
oh God, dude, I don't know where they keep pulling money, but
they'll pay him on that TV deal that they got for $6 billion or whatever on Comcast, I think, or whatever the Dodgers signed a couple years ago.
And like Judge, he's 30 years old. So yeah, you need to. I wouldn't be shocked because it's the Yankees. 10 years, $500 million. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
But this is the thing, is that you can do that because he can play till 40 and he can DH just like he's doing now, batting off. He can DH 3 times a week and play outfield 3 times a week. Yep. I mean, that's the beauty of it. He doesn't have to field. He can DH.
And then eventually he could be a first baseman because he's fucking 6'7". Like, I mean, he's huge. And he should be, he would be what, the 6th Yankees captain? He should be the captain. Like, I know it's a very prestigious thing. Yeah, it's a very prestigious thing, but they haven't had a captain since Jeter, and it probably should be Judge.
Yeah, I mean, after this, I think 100% that he should be, especially with everything that's going on. And I mean, he's going to hit 62. There's no doubt about it. So
wild. But yeah, so anyway, we saw it live on the show. Back to NASCAR.
Yeah, it's perfect. Anyways, back to NASCAR. Yeah, with Texas cutting tires, all that good stuff. It was not that great of a race. They had a lightning delay. Truex cut a tire, Harvick cut a tire, Chase cut a tire, all while leading. That's just not fun racing. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see guys, you don't even know when you're going to cut a tire and you just cut a fucking tire. So to me, that's not a good race. I know people want to see wrecks and all that, but that's not cool. So yeah, not the greatest race. And luckily for me, I was the only one that had someone who didn't cut a tire.
No shit.
You had Christopher Bell, who actually spun out twice. Couldn't actually. I think he went over the elapsed time to get back on the track. They were still fixing his car and lost track of time, so he was out of the race. He finished 34th. Dub had Truex, who again cut a tire, was leading, had a really good car, and he wrecked. Cody, we forgot to pick for him last week, unfortunately. So
I thought we picked Kyle for him.
No, we didn't. We forgot last week. We got distracted at some point. And Parrott already had Kyle Busch, so he got the second last driver, which was Cole Custer. And I got Blaney, who was 4th, which is good for me because he is still my championship driver, and he had a really good start at Texas. I like it. He races well here at Talladega, which we're coming to this weekend. So that's a good thing. Hopefully he can stay up there. But really the big news before we get into the playoff standings, William Byron got docked 25 points and $50,000 for spinning out Hamlin. Hamlin, who retaliated, didn't get anything.
Of
Also,
course.
by the way, the guy who took out Chastain earlier in the year while driving. So Hamlin
Or
gets
cock blocking him for an entire fucking race, it seemed like.
yeah, Hamlin got away with two things, and Byron, who by the way has never had any issue in NASCAR. This is number one. He got docked 25 points, which took him from 5th to 10th. So he's now under the bubble, unfortunately, 8 points out. But right now, your leader is Joey Logano. He is 37 points ahead of the cut line. You got Chastain in second, Larson in third, Ryan Blaney in fourth, Denny Hamlin in fifth, Daniel Suarez in sixth, Chase Elliott in seventh.
Yeah, Danny Suarez.
Yeah, Chase Briscoe with the Byron drop moved into eighth, so he's above the cut line, 7 points ahead. Then you have Austin Cindric, 7 points behind the cut line, Byron 8 points behind the cut line, Christopher Bell 25 points behind the cut line, and Alex Bowman 26 points behind the cut line. Now we are at Talladega, where anything and everything can happen. This is going to be a crazy race. It always is. It's one to watch, man. It's one to take a little bit away from your football Sunday and throw on Talladega. I know I'm going to have it on. It's one of my favorite races of the year. So it's going to be exciting here. Last major speedway of the year. So always a good one.
But let's just talk about that real quick, though. What you said, Suarez in sixth, Chastain in second. Trackhouse Racing is a legit team.
Yep.
Like, legit. Pitbull and Justin Marks, wild.
Well, now with this, if they get two guys at least to the round 8, to the round of 6. Wait,
round 8. You're right.
Yeah, round of 8. If they get two guys into the round of 8, guarantee they'll be able to open up a car with the money they're going to make no matter what. So, and most likely will make the Final Four.
Yeah.
So
I hope, it's just setting up beautifully, man. It's going to be like Chastain, Denny, Joey, and then like Chase Elliott or some shit, because that's what'll happen.
Well, again, this is the race where you don't know. And last week, Tyler Reddick won. So now out of the 4 playoff races, not one playoff guy. No, Reddick was in the playoffs, but he missed. Mm-hmm. So technically not one person so far in the playoff hunt has won a race in the playoffs. I think that's going to change this week. I really do. But man, super speedway, dude, you just never know. Bubba won here 2 races ago with the weather, and Chastain won in the spring in a crazy race. Absolutely nutso race here. And that was Chastain's first dub. That was when I was in Mexico.
Yep.
I watched the race in Spanish and caught the last couple laps, and that was nuts. So very excited for this one. And yeah, I overtook you. I got a 4th and you got a 34th there. So we came off of our same picks and probably won't have a same one the rest of the way. I assume you're not going to pick the same guy I am this week, but I see Dub pick Blaney, so he's already in there. This week I'm going to go with the guy who just got docked the points. I think William Byron, he's been racing well. He had a really good run in Texas. He's been racing really good at super speedways. He has a good track record. I think he finished 3rd here in the spring at Talladega. But he races safe. That's kind of what I like here. He likes racing in the back of the pack, let the other guys wreck, and then he's kind of there at the end. He's been caught up in some accidents in Talladega and Daytona at the end while in contention in the last few laps. So I think Byron, I think the Chevys are going to be super strong at this track this week. They have not been strong lately. So I think it's coming this week. I think not only Hendrick, but the Chevys in general, meaning Chastain and Suarez, are going to be super strong this week at Talladega. So I'm going to go with Byron to get the win and lock himself into the next round after the bullshit that happened with Hamlin.
So I'm going to take a guy that he's won a race this year, but he's not in the playoffs. And this, out of the last 6 times he's raced here, twice he's crashed, which happens at Talladega, but the other 4 times he's been in the top 10. So I'm going to go off the wall. Not really off the wall. Good driver here. Give me Eric Jones.
Okay. Eric who? Mike Jones.
There we go.
For Cody, I say nothing says more Talladega than someone who we would never pick at this track. Someone who's always in the back of the field. Let's go with like, is he racing?
I got to find out.
Put slash Cody Ware. Oh no. He just got hurt, actually. He's the one who just had the big accident. I don't know if he's gonna race this week.
Corey LaJoy.
Let's do that. I want someone in the back of the field for
But Kaz Grala raced this one time and he started 38th, he finished 6th.
Yeah, I'll see if I don't know if he's gonna be there this week. Actually,
he raced in it last year.
Did he race? So he didn't race in the spring?
Talladega entry list. That's what I need.
I was going to see if
entry list for the Yellowwood 500.
Yellowwood.
Noah Gragson is set to pilot the 62 Beard Oil South Point. That's it. Beard Oil. Noah Gragson. That screams Cody Bryant.
Give him Gragson.
JJ Yaley returns to the 15.
Interesting. I can't wait to put in my all last place driver for Talladega, my favorite for the $1 in NASCAR. It's always every single year.
Yeah.
And always put in the last 6 guys who are always at the bottom, and I have like $28,000 left to spend, but I always put that in just in case.
Oh, dude, it's the best. I know we're getting close on the old NASCAR. I think I'm still in second. I forgot it pays out, but I think I'm like a couple hundred ahead, but that can go away real easy. It's the NFL I'm starting to fall back on because I keep forgetting to put in lineups, and I'm like, shit, and just start putting them in.
The Talladega is always the one where you just have that guy who goes negative. Since I talked about it, it'll probably be me. But we'll see. It's going to be a fun race. It should be a good one.
All right, so let's go to old NCAA first. Looks like we got some picks in from Dub. Just some updated standings real quick. Bears 16-27-1. Dub 15-28-1. Me 21-22-1. Cody 5-4-1. Parrot 17-15-1. Jeremy 14-18.
Yeah, all of us who actually pick every week are all under 500. It's a rough year in NCAA for us right now.
So there we go. What do we got this week, Bear?
All right, so we have the Georgia Bulldogs, who a little bit disappointing. Kent State couldn't even cover. Kind of looked like shit for the first time this year. At Missouri, 8-point favorite.
28. Jesus.
I think they're going to rebound this week. I think they can put it on Missouri. I'm sure Kirby Smart's going to have them fired up, especially coming into SEC play.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was just kind of a fluke. It seemed like there's that game that you look past, and you head to Missouri for SEC play. They looked past them and kind of got caught up. But yeah, this week I think to blow the doors off of Missouri.
Yeah, I think so too. And we have Alabama going to Arkansas. They are a 17.5-point favorite.
Arkansas, are they top 10 yet?
No, Arkansas, I think they dropped. They're 20th. They actually are 20th.
Oh, they lost, didn't they, to Texas A&M?
Yeah, they lost to A&M, so they're 20th, which I should have put on there and I didn't. Yeah, so number 20, Arkansas. There, I'm going to go with Arkansas here. Alabama, the only competition they played on a true road game was Texas, and they barely won. They've played a whole bunch of cupcakes at home. Even though they did start SEC play last week against Vandy, that means nothing. So this is going to be a true test back on the road. And Arkansas is going to be hungry, but 17.5 is a lot for only winning by 1 point or 2 points against Texas. So.
Yeah, I'm going to take Alabama. I think they win by 21.
Okay. And we have the Ohio State Buckeyes at home against Rutgers. They are a 40.5-point favorite. I thought last week Rutgers was going to put up a fight against Iowa, and they did not. They got their asses handed to them. Ohio State looked fantastic against Wisconsin. It wasn't even a contest. I'm going to go with the Buckeyes here. I think Rutgers has a chance to maybe make a little bit of noise, but man, they struggle. And with Greg Schiano back, I think Ryan Day is going to want to run it up on him. So
Rutgers on the road, um, they won by 1 and 2. So they're just a few points away from being 1 and 3, not 3 and 1. So yeah. And you said Ohio State. Give me Ohio State as well. I think Ohio State fucking wins like 63-10.
yep, about that. It's usually what it is against Rutgers. Michigan, their first road game of the year, going to Iowa. They are an 11-point favorite. Michigan is in this game. They struggled with Maryland last week. This is a first true road game. Iowa looked good against Rutgers, though Iowa's offense has not been great. They have the past 2 weeks. So I have to say that Iowa is going to cover here. Now, I think Michigan's going to win the game. I think it's going to be close. I think field goal towards the end, defensive stop. But I have Iowa covering here.
Me too. I think it's similar to last week for Michigan. They're going on the road. It's not easy to go play in Iowa. Turn around, wave at the hospital, do all that. But I just don't think they're going to do it. I think they win maybe like 35-27, 35-28. So Iowa's going to cover.
I think that's a lot. I think Michigan's going to win like 17-14. I think it's going to be a down and gritty Big Ten sort of game.
There you go.
Potential game of the week right here. Clemson at home against number 10 NC State, number 5 Clemson, that is. And they are a 6.5-point favorite. I see what they did after the Wake Forest shit last week, which I was the only one, I think, who won on that, by the way. Which Wake Forest should have won that game. They should have. They just did one of the absolute, I shouldn't say it's a choke job. I won't go that far, but they should have won the game. Let's put it that way. Shouldn't have went to overtime. NC State should have beat them in regulation. Or I'm sorry, Wake Forest should have beat them in regulation. So coming off of a tough game like that, I can foresee another overtime game. And NC State has had their number the past couple of years. So I'm going to go with NC State here. I think Clemson wins again. I think they win by 3 in overtime, but I think NC State's going to keep it super close and definitely has a good chance to beat Clemson.
So, the only reason I'm going to say this is Clemson's at home. NC State, so they beat T-Tech first, not the first game of the year, but one of the more recent games, I think third game of the year. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. So they won their first game by 1 at East Carolina. So right there tells you struggle on the road a little bit. East Carolina. And then they beat UConn 41-10, Charleston Southern 55-3, won at home against Texas Tech by 13, but struggled on the road. I think that's going to be key here. I think they lose. It's not going to be by a lot. I think it's 6.5. I like the 6.5. I think it's 7. I think Clemson wins by 7, so I'm going to take Clemson.
You know what? I think you talked me into it. I'm changing to Clemson.
All right.
After I just looked through that too, and I saw the over-under on the game's 40.5, which, I mean, Clemson just put up 51 last week, so I feel like that's super low.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Clemson and the over in that one.
This might be the first time I've talked you into switching unintentionally.
Hey, that's the name of the game sometimes.
I like it.
Number 6 USC at home against Arizona State. They're a 25.5-point favorite. I think USC blows them out of the water. They just fired Herm and Arizona State. They're kind of in shambles, back to a shit football university. USC should just roll.
Yeah, USC's at home. They struggle on the road, or they have struggled a little bit on the road. I mean, they beat Stanford by 13, but Stanford's not that good. Arizona State is a lot worse, and USC's at home. Yeah, I agree with you there. They win by at least 30.
Number 7 Kentucky at number 14 Ole Miss, and Kentucky is a 7-point dog. I find that to be wild. I don't know, man. I know that Kentucky's played some closer games, but they just find a way to win, and they find a way to show up here. And Ole Miss has played nobody this year. They beat Troy, they beat Central Arkansas, they beat Georgia Tech, and they beat Tulsa. Kentucky has actually played competition. So
they beat Florida at Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kentucky outright here. +7, I think, is it's a crazy number. So yeah, give me Kentucky as an outright winner.
Yeah, I think it goes either way, like a field goal game here. Either way, it could be Kentucky, it could be Ole Miss. I'm taking Kentucky in the points.
Yeah. Number 8, Tennessee is idle this week. So we have number 9, Oklahoma State, +2 at number 16, Baylor. Another good game, another top 25 matchup between two schools this week. Oklahoma State coming off of a bye, Baylor coming off of a 7-point win at Iowa State. Other than that, they beat Albany, they beat Texas State, and they lost at BYU. I don't know, man. I think this Oklahoma State team is good. I think they're legit. So give me Oklahoma State and the points, outright winner at Baylor. Not an easy place to play, but I think they beat them.
Yeah, this could go either way. It's at Baylor, right?
Yes.
So Baylor won Bears number to 10 against Albany, 42-7 against Texas State. But on the road, man, their tough games were on the road. Iowa State and BYU. Won one, lost the other in overtime. But I think since they're home here, they're +2. God, this could be easily a 1-point game, 3-point game. I mean, I think it's going to be close. Could be your game of the week outside of Clemson, NC State. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Baylor. I think Baylor wins this by 3.
Okay, I like it. Number 10, NC State, we already said, is playing number 5, Clemson. So Michigan State +8.5 at Maryland.
Sparty.
I think I was the only one who picked Minnesota last week.
Yes, you were.
I didn't think they were going to blow them out of the water, but I knew they were going to beat them. But Mo Ibrahim is a monster. Now, with that being said, Michigan State is going to win this game outright, guaranteed.
Really?
About Joe Namath this one. Yeah, I mean, Mel Tucker is facing a little bit of adversity, and when his team has faced adversity, they've come out and they've beat Michigan. They've come out and they look good. They're already 2-2, so there's no looking forward to Ohio State. They're down. They got embarrassed by Minnesota. Maryland just came off a super tough emotional game at Michigan. Tua's little brother kind of got roughed up a little bit. So I can see Maryland with all this hype, and yeah, they played Michigan well. I can see Michigan State coming in and beating them in Maryland outright. But if you're going to give me 8.5, give me 8.5 too. But I would take Michigan State outright in this one.
Oh, God, it's so tough. Peyton Thorne looked like shit. I'll tell you that. He was, I think, 17-24, 2 picks. They had their backup come in, which, at this point, is it time to let him start? I don't know. It might be. I mean, he came in, he looked pretty good. Trying to pull up the stats on that because they played what, Minnesota. So, I mean, you're in somewhat garbage time, but Noah Kim, 6-7, 70 yards and a TD, a lot better than Peyton looked.
Mm-hmm.
If Noah Kim's in there, I could see where they could win. I mean, the problem was with them is with Minnesota just destroyed their run. Brassard had 6 carries for 23 yards, and Berger had 4 carries for 13. That's not good. Like, not good at all. And, so they only basically ran 10 times. They ran 4 times with a quarterback, but that could be them trying to not get sacked. It's just, that was bad. Like, so they had, what do they have? 30, 36 minus, what do they have? 36 plus 5, 41 minus 3, 38 yards rushing. 38 yards rushing and 202 yards passing. That was a bad game for them. And it was at Michigan State. I hope they win, and I'm going to just take MSU because it's the points. I don't know if they win.
If it makes you feel any better, Blake Corum just ran for 243 on Maryland. So Maryland's run defense is Swiss cheese.
Good. Well, that makes me feel a lot better, and we'll see. We'll see if they keep how long they keep Peyton Thorne in, or if Noah Kim's going to be the starter here soon. I mean, he got his time in there. We don't know. Maybe. Sounds like
that might be the case. And then Notre Dame is also idle this week, so that is the last of our college football picks for the week.
By the factions of Michigan State fan base is calling for a quarterback change or wrong. This is Peyton Thorne's team, not Noah Kim's. Well, it's going to be Noah Kim's team. So, yeah, I don't know why. 2021, he was a redshirt freshman. So if he's a redshirt freshman, that means he's a freshman this year, right?
Right.
Or he's they got him as a redshirt sophomore. So what the fuck's that mean?
It means he'd still be a sophomore because I think if you transfer or whatnot, you can redshirt if you did in your freshman year. So it means he probably didn't redshirt his freshman year.
Well, they had him as a redshirt freshman last year. Redshirted, named Scout Team Offensive Player of the Week versus Northwestern. Oh, so that was 2020. 2021, he was a redshirt freshman. So he redshirted in 20, redshirt freshman in 21, did not see game action, and then he's a redshirt sophomore. So I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, I thought you could only do that if you were injured or something like that. So
Yeah, I don't know. So, we'll see, but eventually I think it's going to be his team. So hopefully, well, if not this year, because I think Peyton Thorne's a senior. If it's not this year, I think it's going to be next year. Obviously, it's going to be his team. Went to Westfield. 3-year starter at Westfield, combined to throw for 6,756 and 110 total touchdowns, 87 passing, 23 rushing. Also rushed for 1,000 yards in high school. 13-1 record in the Virginia Class 6 semifinals during senior season, falling to eventual champion South County. 41-2 record in his career as a starter.
Sounds like he's a solid dual threat.
Yeah. And I think he runs primarily, he was ranked one of the top players in Virginia, number 16, and ESPN number 21. Broken femur in the semifinals his junior season. Ugh.
Thanks.
Yeah, so he also played basketball. Passing's okay. Sophomore in 2017, he was 15-0.
Nice.
So he's pretty
sounds like he could be that dude.
solid. He's a pro, so he's a pro style quarterback. Interesting. We'll see. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? Might see him some more in when we go to East Lansing when they play Ohio State.
Very possible. He could have the team by then.
Maybe they'll get likely going to get trounced, but it's okay. Either way, I won't be upset. I'll be a Spartan that day, but in the inside, I'll be pulling for Ohio State because they have the better shot at the playoff by a lot. All right, so into the pros. Bear 26-21-1, our leader. I'm 25-22-1. Dub 24-23-1. Parrot 18-13-1. Jeremy 19-12-1. Cody 8-9.
At least he got some picks in. All right, Thursday night game this week. We got the Dolphins, the 3-0 Dolphins at the Cincinnati Bengals. I, sir, am going with the Bengals this week. I think that the Miami train, which they honestly could be very easily 1-2, is going to end this week. So definitely going to be the Bengals for me.
Yeah, same here. Bengals. They're so only 2 undefeated teams left: Eagles and Dolphins. And Dolphins are not going to be undefeated after tonight. When you're listening to this show, give me the Bengals.
I agree with you. England game. London, Manchester, wherever the hell they're at. 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. We have the Vikings at the Saints. So not really in New Orleans. They are in Manchester or Wembley or wherever the hell they're at. Man, this is kind of like a throw your hands up and take a guess sort of deal. The Saints have not looked good. The Vikings honestly should have lost to the Lions. Sorry for the people in England who have to watch Cousins against Winston. Give me the Saints. I think they're going to get Kamara going this week.
I'm going the Vikings. Kirk Cousins just looks like he belongs in England. And God save the Queen. Former Queen.
God save the King now.
God save the King. Kirk Cousins is going to throw 3 TDs for King Charles III. Mark my words. 3 TDs for King Charles III.
All right. Browns at Falcons in Atlanta. Should be a pretty decent game. Falcons have been pretty competitive. Browns had a big win against the Steelers on Thursday night. Got a little bit of time. But I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. I think they're just a little more talented than the Falcons.
Agree on the more talent. They've got that double-headed monster in the backfield, and doesn't make Brissett have to throw. But when he does, man, he does make some good throws. Amari Cooper's looking good. I watched that game against Steelers. They've had several days off. Those extra couple days help. So I'm going to go with the Browns as well.
I agree with you there. It's going to be a big, heavy dose of Nick Chubb. That's for damn sure.
Give you a Chubb.
Whew, thank you. Commanders at Cowboys. The 2-1 Cowboys after Cooper Rush does Cooper Rush things and just wins. Honestly, though, it's not about that. It's about the defense who sacked
Insane
times. Micah's a monster. And by the way, Carson Wentz and the Commanders got sacked 6 times in the first half against the Eagles last week. They just looked lost. Oh, by the way, the best defensive line in football is coming to town.
What's the best player in the NFL?
And probably the best player in the NFL, Micah Parsons, coming to town as well. So Carson Wentz is going to be on his ass a little bit more this week. This will probably be the last week of Cooper Rush. So I say Cowboys.
Cooper Rush going to go out 4-0. I love the stat you sent, which would be the stat of the day from Bear. Cooper Rush is the first player since the 1970 merger to lead 3 fourth-quarter/overtime game-winning drives in his first 3 career starts. He's 3-0. Give me Cooper Rush 4-0. That defense is going to do it. You know, Tony Pollard. How long until Pollard's the starter?
He won't be. They'll keep doing what they're doing. I mean, he was super explosive, and he could be or should be. But after he looked super explosive, Zeke came in and looked even better. He came and started running angry. So.
By the way, let me thank those Dallas Cowboys for running that fucking tight end pass, because I was texting Bear. I cannot have 2 or 3 yards from Zeke. They didn't give him the ball. Thank God I won my game by 0.2. By the way, in that league, so I'm 3-0, 2-1, and 1-2. I should be 2-1 in that other league that Jeremy's doing, where I'm 1-2 now, 1 by 0.2. Should be 2-1. Problem is that week that I was out on farm tour, I didn't know that Pittman was out, so I could have put in any one of my other 3 wide receivers and won the game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know. Pissed me off. Oh well, I'm coming back.
That's fantasy football for you.
That sucks. It is what it is.
Yep, and we got the Cowboys hater Dub taking the Commanders for no good reason. I would love to actually hear what his reasoning is behind him taking the Commanders.
Because fuck Dallas. I already heard it.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's just a consummate hater. He doesn't look at stats and the game from the objective point of view. He looks at it from my buddies are Cowboys fans, so fuck them. Seahawks at Lions this week. We'll go Lions here.
Yeah, I agree. They've looked good. They've been competitive all year. They're at home. You know, DeAndre's out, but Jamal looked pretty good too. Not worried about him. And then Amon St. Ra.
St. Brown, yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's on one of my teams. Dude's a stud, man. Give me him.
Yes, he is. He's very good. And Goff is not doing too bad in Detroit. Not doing too bad.
This next game's my favorite. Which Colts team are you going to get?
Yeah, God. Titans and Colts. The 1-2 Titans at the 1-1 Indianapolis Colts. Do we get the tie against Houston? Do we get the shutout against the Jaguars? Or do we get them beating the Chiefs, possibly at the time the best team in football? Who knows? God, this should be a battle of the running backs, Henry and Taylor. But the Titans they beat a bad Raiders team, barely beat a bad Raiders team, lost to the Giants, got killed by the Bills. I just don't think this team is good. So I got to take the Colts at home here.
Yeah. Is there a way to go 1-1-1-1? I don't know what that other one would be, but yeah, I'm going to take the Colts too. Just exactly what you said. Titans are just not good, and Colts, we don't know which team will get, but they're at home, and it's not like they've been destroyed, except, the Jags beat them, but what are the Jags? We don't know.
No one really knows at this point. We're still a little bit early, but yeah, I think the Colts are going to kind of make a little bit of a turnaround here. We have the Bears at the Giants in the go ahead and take a nap this week game of the week. Somehow both teams are 2-1. Nobody really knows how. I don't even know who the hell to pick here.
Where's the game?
In New York.
Give me the Giants. I'm just doing home team here. Saquon runs for 500. and 14 touchdowns.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
If I could get 90 or 100 and a touchdown, I'd be thrilled.
who'd the Bears play last week? Who'd they beat?
Bears. Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. You got to go back.
So you just click on the bottom of the week 3 there, and I could look.
Oh yeah, that would be easy, wouldn't it? They beat Houston.
Okay. Give me the Bears, man. A lot of people have been talking shit about Justin Fields. So I think he's going to have a good game. And the Giants just got absolutely, like I said, creamed coming off of a short week. Yeah, give me the Bears. We got the Jags at the Eagles. The other 3-0 team left. I think they go 4-0 this week because, again, we don't know what the Jags are yet. We really don't. I think it's going to be competitive. There's just so much here that the Jags could beat the Eagles. I mean, Peterson's coming back to Philly. It's one of those things, man. So that one always makes me nervous. If I had to take a point spread, I think I'd take the Jags, but I think the Eagles are going to win this game.
You know, I'm struggling here, man. The fucking Jags, bro.
You were right last week. You just didn't trust your gut and you listened to me like a dumbass, or you would have picked them.
What, the Jags? I did say it too. I did. I said I have this feeling something is telling me the Jaguars are going to win this game, and you see my asterisks.
Yeah, that's why I told you. But you didn't do it, and you put the Chargers down. You should have just stuck with your gut.
You're right. So I'm going to stick with my gut this week. The Jags are going to win.
There you go.
They're going to go on the road again. They went to LA. They won fucking 38-10. I think they're going to go in and beat the Eagles.
I hope you're right. I'll be rooting for the Jaguars big time. I just don't see it happening this week.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't know how the hell they did it. What did they do the week before Jacksonville?
That's when they shut out the Colts.
Jags did?
Yeah.
24-0, 38-10. And then week 1, they did Jaguar things, didn't they? Yeah, they lost to the Commanders, 28-22.
Once they were up in that game, they should have won that game.
Jaguars should be 3-0. Because who is it? The fucking, god damn it. I was just trying to think about this. Doug Peterson is the coach, right?
That's what I'm saying. He's going back to Philly.
Beat him. Crush him.
Yep.
Give me the Jags.
Jets at the Steelers. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here because I think that Trubisky's going to get benched and Pickett's going to come in the second half and win him the game.
That is exactly to a T what I was going to say. So, Steelers.
Dub's taking the Jets for whatever dub reason. Bills at Ravens. This should be an interesting game. I think the Bills' offense is just going to be too much. That Baltimore secondary is depleted, man. I think Allen's going to throw all over him. But it should be a fun game. I think it's going to be high scoring. Lamar and Allen, it's going to be fun.
Bad game management last week. I mean, just bad by the Bills. You know, they just gave away that game. Beat themselves. And won't happen again. Bills.
Yep. And I mean, it was 100 degrees in Miami. It was hot. Everyone was exhausted. So, yeah, it's definitely something that it could have happened, but you need those losses sometimes in the season to get you going again. We have the Chargers at the Texans. Speaking of who the hell knows what to think, you would think the Chargers would easily win this, but after the Jags last week, who knows? But I think Herbert's just going to get healthier. This team's going to be fine, but they do have injuries just like the Chargers do every year. Bosa tore his groin. Their left tackle tore his biceps. He's out for the year. So the Chargers are back on the injury train like they are every single year. But Chargers for the pod for us. Cardinals at Panthers. This could be very interesting. And I think it's going to come down to, running. Hurricane Ian is going to go through that area. That field's going to get wet. So I think Kyler is going to run for over 100 yards on the ground. And I think the Cardinals are going to beat him.
I agree with you. I just don't think the Panthers are there yet, even though it's probably still going to be there. Cardinals win.
Patriots at the Packers. Mac Jones going to be out for a little bit with a messed up ankle. I think that Green Bay going to run away with this one. Their defense looking really good, and now they get to go against Brian Hoyer, so it should look even better. And the Patriots are kind of poo.
Yeah. Sorry for Michigan State quarterbacks.
Yeah. Broncos at Raiders. 0-3 Raiders, the only 0-3 team in the NFL. Yeesh. I got to go with Denver here, man. I mean, their offense does not look good, but God, the Raiders just suck. There's no better way to get that offense going than against this Raiders defense.
Yeah. And I'm going to go the other way here. I just don't think they go 0-4. Offense looks pretty good, but just for the most part, and it's just trash. But I'm going to go the Raiders. And for fun,
as we know, Josh McDaniel is a fraud. So it's being shown right now, just like every Belichick protege, besides Brian Flores.
So here's my favorite thing from the Manning cast this past week. Eli Manning. They should have paid that punter $235 million instead of Russell.
Yeah, Russell. They asked him about that today in his press conference, and he kind of laughed and he goes, "Well, I was 3-0 against Chad Powers in my career, so I guess it's okay." Which Chad Powers was Eli Manning and walking on at Penn State. If no one saw that, go look that up on ESPN. Pretty good piece right there. It's pretty funny. Your Sunday night game, which may be played in Tampa or maybe played
Minneapolis,
in Florida, pending on what the hurricane does here and how much rain Florida gets. But Chiefs at Bucks should be a fun game. It's a tough one, man. The Chiefs should be 3-0. They should have beat the Colts. This Bucks defense is good. Only gave up 14 points to Aaron Rodgers, but I think Mahomes and the Chiefs squad are going to get it done. Now there is trouble in paradise between Mahomes and BME, excuse me. So it'll be interesting to see exactly. Be very interesting to see how that relationship goes, or if it mends or whatever. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. The Bucks will have Mike Evans back, may have Chris Godwin back, but I think the Chiefs are going to win. Excuse me.
Same. I think you're coming off that loss to the Colts. I think the Chiefs pull this one out. Chiefs win.
Yeah. And in our Monday night game, we have the Rams at the 49ers. The 49ers who scored a measly 10 points against the Broncos, and Jimmy G pulling the Dan Orlowski and stepping out of the back of the end zone. Luckily for him, he threw a pick six, so it was only 2 and not 7. But I don't know, man. Those Niners look just rough.
That 2 cost him, though.
That did. Yep. I mean, it cost him the game. I got to go with the Rams here. I got to take the Rams. I can't take the Niners until I see Jimmy G back in a rhythm here.
We got a small package here, AEW. It's 10:01. How is this game still this match still happening?
Who is it?
Jericho and who's he fighting? Dude from Ring of Honor. He's about to tap though. Jericho's gonna win. Yep, he tapped.
Big shock. Jericho putting himself over. Points you get to pick this week. Rams and Niners.
It's Bendito, by the way. The Rams Niners total points.
Yeah.
Let's see. 34.
All right.
24-10.
34 it is. Pods picks. All right.
Just for fun, back to college football. In Iowa's last 6 home games against AP top 5 foes. 2008, beat number 3 Penn State 24-23. 2010, beat number 5 Michigan State 37-6. 2016, beat number 2 Michigan 14-13. 2017, number 4 Penn State, they lost 21-19. 2017, number 3 Ohio State win 55-24. Number 4 Penn State win 23-20. This week, number 4, Michigan.
Interesting. Interesting stat right there.
I think we both took Iowa. We did.
Yeah, we all took Iowa. I still think Michigan's going to beat them, but
yeah, it's not going to be easy. So, will be fun. I'm interested to see how things play out. We got our Cooper Rush stat, which I enjoyed. Another fun stat, turning over to wrestling real quick, just for a bit. And Jericho just punched the announcer. Is this his heel turn back?
I thought he was already a heel.
Yeah, he is. Friday, him and Sammy are fighting a couple. Oh boy. Jericho. Yeah, which I don't understand, by the way, since we're talking about wrestling now. Why the fuck is he the Ring of Honor champ? Why did he beat Claudio? It's the dumbest shit ever.
They bring Claudio in to do all this stuff and to be the guy, and then they give him the Ring of Honor title for like a month, and then they let Jericho have it. It makes no sense to me.
Now you got the old White Rabbit thing going on in WWE.
I like that.
Again, think Bray?
I do. I think I kind of like the Bray, the Karrion Kross, the Braun Strowman, Scarlett, and who's the creepy guy?
Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, Dexter. I like that. And them just wreaking havoc on the WWE and all that. I think they're gonna play it into one of those them versus a WWE faction or stable, which could totally be a Survivor Series thing. Just so funny. It's 5 people. Problem is Scarlett. So yeah.
But now they're kind of playing Alexa Bliss in there too, which she was like. They're playing some of this music, the music for the White Rabbit during Alexa, and they're making comments. Bailey made comments to Alexa and about shit. So it's like, God, it could be Bray and Alexa again. I'd be fine with Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux, because Scarlett doesn't really fight, right?
Yeah, I guess she is more of a manager, isn't she?
And then you'd have Alexa kind of be, the wrestler of that, and for the women. And then, dude, but what a fucking stable that could be either way. Braun Strowman, get him back in there, get Karrion Kross, get Dexter Lumis, and of course Bray Wyatt. I mean, that would be a fun team. Go up against Judgment Day, bury them.
Yep.
And because it's perfectly set up for that. And that's where it could come in, because you got what? You got Finn Balor, you got Dominic Mysterio, Damian Priest, and Rhea.
Yep.
And even if you don't do it with, well, who did Dexter kidnap? The Miz. So how do you play that one off? There's so many things there.
I mean, you can always move that story here, and I mean, you can get rid of it, or again, maybe it's not the Judgment Day. Maybe eventually it's the Judgment Day, but you have a Survivor Series of Miz and whoever, Miz, Edge, whatever, shit like that. Guys who would go up against them. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Bray ends up coming in or not, or what happens. So,
dude, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting either way. We don't really have the next UFC is not till the 22nd.
Pay-per-view, right?
Because isn't that Makachev and Oliveira? Yeah, that is. And then Aljamain Sterling and DJ Dillashaw, Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. That's going to be a good card.
Yeah, that'll be a really good card. Where's that at? That's not the Garden, is it?
I think that one is at the Garden, actually. UFC.
I thought that was Izzy. I think Izzy's at the Garden.
Oh, is he? Did not mean that was unintentional. Absolutely unintentional. It's in Abu Dhabi.
Okay. Yeah. So Izzy's at the Garden.
So is that going to be that'll be an early start time then again?
I don't think so, because I think they're like trying to think.
Here, let's ask Google. Hey, Google, what is the current time in Abu Dhabi? 6:07 a.m.
Yeah, so 10 p.m. for us. So they're going to fight at 6 a.m. over there. So it might be an early card then.
Yeah.
I mean, the main card would have to start right now, which means they'd have to start the fights there at like 2 a.m. So that's not going to happen. They may flip it then. So then you make it, they start their fights at 3 p.m. or something, which is 11 a.m. here, which gets you the main card about 2 or 3 p.m. Could be about right.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's UFC 280. I just gotta see. I don't know if they have a start time yet on that, but
They should, I would think.
so Peter Yan's a 4-1 betting favorite over Sean O'Malley.
Ugh. I would put some heat on O'Malley.
Right?
I mean, it seems 2 p.m. Eastern.
So it is a 2 p.m.
That'll be the main card. So yeah, the card will start at like 10 a.m.
So oh God.
I'm assuming at least.
What a good that'll be a good prelims at 7 a.m. Main card at 11.
Oh, so the actually 2 p.m. will be their fight.
That is so odd. Yeah, if you look at it, Jesus. Early prelims 9 a.m., prelims at 10, main card at 2.
There, okay, yeah, main card.
So you're right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Man, 10 a.m. Who's Ohio State play that week?
I think they're off actually the 22nd. I think.
No, they play Iowa.
Of course, on a fucking TBA. Yeah, they're off the week after Michigan State. That's what it is.
So you get a week off, then they get Iowa, Penn State. Man, Ohio State doesn't have an easy go of it either, man. They got Maryland, then Michigan. Ooh.
They got to go. I mean, if State was solid, they'd have State, Iowa, and Penn State in a row. A little rough little gauntlet there.
I mean, I don't want to say it is in East Lansing, but it is. And, Michigan State, who knows who's going to show up. Has anybody been able to run on Ohio State?
Not really.
Yeah, so they're done. They're dead in the water.
Their defense has been pretty solid. The only person that's ran on Ohio State is DeQuan Finn. That's about it. His quarterback.
That's good. So as we wrap this one up, let's make a quick comment. Quite a big deal here. Cena has granted now 650 Make-A-Wish wishes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a Guinness record, Guinness World Record. Nobody, this is what blew me away. Guinness World Record site called the effort Herculean because no one else has granted more than 200.
Jeez. 450 more, at least.
At least. So, John Chena, you are the man for doing what you do. Just a good human being.
It's probably because no one can see him, so he can say he's there.
You can't see me.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll get UFC here in a couple weeks. That'll be a great card. I'm going to somehow try to watch it in the middle of the day when Ohio State's playing Iowa. We'll see. But in the meantime, we got to thank some people. Thank you to Wes Anderson, All Wear Clothing, Crandall's Quality Landscaping, Connell Barrett, DatingTransformation.com, and Sparty Steve. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Go Buckeyes.